when I think about it, I once, tried to send a message to your good friend Peter Schiff on Twitter. I said, one of the problems with gold, and he's the most notorious gold bug, I think, in the world. He didn't ever answer me, by the way, but it's like eventually you have to convert it to dollars. Like in order to do anything with it, you have to convert it to one of these inferior, according to you and many, and to him certainly, inferior media of exchange or stores of value. So the fact that to me represents a possible existential risk, because right now, the IRS is maybe not treating it. We saw something with Ripple last couple of weeks, as far as I know. I don't follow it very closely, but what's to prevent, a really black swan event, as Taleb would say, from, government just saying this is now illegal, and any proceeds, we want to know the history of every single coin. And unless you have proof of that work, a proof of where the coin came from, and it never touched a black market dealership, whatever. What's to stop that from happening? Or do you see other potential COVID-esque risks that could compromise the rosy story of it growing 200% per year?
I just think that's fairly de minimis. Like, it's been growing 200% a year every year for the past 11 years, and you're only going to have 30 years of your life in business. So how long are you going to stare at something which is a screaming successful thing in denial? Peter Schiff has been against Bitcoin for 10 years. He'd be a billionaire right now. He'd be a 10 billionaire right now if he had actually not been against it. You would lose, by the way, resisting it, you would lose 98 to 99% of your wealth over 5 years if you're in denial of this thing. So there's a cost to being in denial of stuff. Let me just, again, offer an example. Like, if you're on an airplane and somebody puts their elbow through a window and it starts depressurizing, and the oxygen gets sucked out of the airplane, and then the oxygen mask drops down from the compartment above, are you going to stare at it and debate with me for like 2 hours about all the black swans and whether or not the oxygen is safe and whether or not you should breathe the oxygen or whether or not you should not breathe the oxygen? Are you going to put the mask on? Like, because it's new. You've never used an oxygen mask in an airplane before. If I take you and I drop you in the middle of the ocean and you're 50 feet down with the weight around your neck, and I hand you scuba equipment and a regular, are you going to put it in your mouth? Are you going to debate with me and you're going to ask me to twist and try to, what if it's possible that some politician in some country passes some law making it illegal for me to put this regulator in my mouth? It's like, we're really reaching hard here to find a reason to not do the obvious. I want to give you another metaphor. You're at the top of the North Pole. It's 70 degrees. We're all playing Frisbee. There's one heated igloo on the North Pole. There's a guy at the front door. He charges admission, and you can buy a ticket for $1. You don't need the ticket. You like it outside. And then some politician turns down the temperature 10 degrees, and the ticket price goes to $10. Oh, you still keep playing, no big deal. And then some politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees, and the ticket price goes to $100. And you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. I mean, what's in that igloo? It might be kind of dangerous in that igloo. I think I'll just stay there. So another politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees, and you're afraid of the igloo. It's dark in there, and maybe it isn't dark, and maybe the food's not so good. And I turn it down another 10 degrees. When it gets to 0 degrees and you're in t-shirt and you start getting bone chilled, the temperature, the price is going to go to $100,000 to get in, and you still don't know whether or not you can get in. But every intelligent person walked through the door before you, and they're fine waving at you saying, it's warm in here, you're going to freeze to death, Brian. And you're still standing there, and the guy cranks the temperature down, and there's a Peter Schiff standing next to you going, I don't think you should go into that heated igloo because it's possible the politicians will pass a law making it illegal or taxing you on that heated igloo. And then the politician cranks it down to -40 below. And Peter Schiff is still telling you, man, I don't know if it's safe in that igloo. And all your friends are saying, Brian, you idiot. Why don't you come in here and stop freezing to death? It's fine here. You're going to die. And some dude is still going to, yeah, I know, but they haven't done anything for 14 years. But I don't think, I've never been in an igloo before. I'm afraid. And the point is, every time the Fed or a banker prints 10 or 15% more currency, they are sucking 15% of the energy out of the financial system. That's the same as sucking 15% of the oxygen out of your room. That's the same as lowering the temperature 10 degrees. When I suck the energy out of an adiabatic system, you have heat lapse. You will freeze to death if you don't suffocate. We have a currency collapse going on right now. The only difference is it was going on at 5% a year in the US. Now it's going on at 25% this year. It's going to go on 15% for the next 5 years. Same in Europe. It's collapsing at a faster rate in Argentina, Venezuela, Brazil, Nigeria, South Africa, Turkey, Lebanon, fill in the blank. You can stand there living in fear that someone might hypothetically ask you to stop freezing or, get out of the igloo. But on the other hand, there's 100% likelihood you're going to freeze to death if you stand where you are and do nothing. 100%. There's a 1% likelihood that when you actually move into the heated igloo, something unexpected is going to happen that you did not anticipate, or perhaps someone will object, but you'll be warm. And that is the situation with Bitcoin right now, which is a lot of people are working very hard to come up with some reason why they shouldn't trust a new thing. Meanwhile, it's quite clear that 7.8 billion people on the planet have a problem. Everybody with money on Earth is going to lose half their wealth in the next 48 months if they do nothing. If you're one of the billion people in a collapsing developed economy, you're going to lose everything if you do nothing. The solution is a digital monetary network that doesn't dissipate energy, that you can access where no one can corrupt it, and you can take personal custody of your money, of your monetary energy. Yes, there's uncertainty. For the first time in human history, we invented the thing. It's new, but it's not 1 year new. It's 12 years old. And you don't have to put 100%. By the way, when the oxygen mask drops out of the plane and you're traveling with your 10 kids, are you going to put the mask on one kid to see if they live and let the other 9 kids suffocate? Or are you going to put the mask on everybody? Or are you going to put your mask on yourself first? How afraid are you of suffocating versus how afraid are you of using the oxygen? Because Bitcoin is oxygen.